Hey everyone, BH here from Living Soil Garden. Today we're diving into something that can truly make or break your corn harvest, soil pH. If you've ever wondered why your corn sometimes isn't as tall, lush, or productive as you'd hoped, there's a good chance your soil pH could be the culprit. Corn is one of the most pH-sensitive crops out there, and missing the mark by even a little bit can lead to weak stalks, poor pollination, or low yields. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Testing soil pH sounds complicated or expensive, but here's the good news. You don't need fancy gadgets or lab equipment to get reliable results. In fact, with a few items you probably already have in your kitchen or garden shed, you can get a pretty clear picture of your soil's pH. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 proven organic-friendly ways to test your soil's pH before you plant your corn. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, these methods are easy, affordable, and super effective. Let's get those corn stalks standing tall and proud this season. Let's kick things off with my absolute favorite DIY method, the red cabbage juice test. This is hands down the most precise organic method that doesn't require any fancy equipment or chemicals. Red cabbage isn't just a colorful addition to your garden or kitchen. It's packed with anthocyanins, natural pigments that change color depending on the acidity or alkalinity of their environment. Start by grabbing a fresh head of red cabbage. Chop about 2 cups worth into small pieces and place them in a pot. Next, pour in enough distilled water to cover the cabbage. Distilled water is important here because tap water can have minerals that skew your results. Bring the pot to a gentle boil, then simmer for about 10 minutes. You'll see the water turn a vivid purple. That's your pH indicator in the making. Once your cabbage is nice and soft, strain out the solids and save the liquid. This purple cabbage juice is your all-natural pH tester. Let it cool down to room temperature before moving on to the next step. Now grab a few clear cups or jars and scoop in a few tablespoons of soil from your corn plot. Try to take samples from a few different spots and mix them together for a true composite sample. Pour enough cabbage juice into each jar to cover the soil, then give them a gentle stir. Now comes the fun part. Watching the colors change. If your soil is acidic, the cabbage juice will turn a pinkish red. Neutral soils will keep the juice close to its original purple, while alkaline soils will shift it toward blue or even greenish yellow. This test is incredibly visual, making it a great project if you've got kids or want to see real science in action right in your garden. It's not just fun, it's accurate within a reasonable range, and it tells you immediately whether you're in the right pH zone for corn. Remember, corn thrives best in soils with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0, so you want to see that juice stay purple or just slightly pink. One tip. Light conditions can affect how you perceive the colors, so check your test jars in natural daylight for the most accurate readings. If your juice goes bright pink, you'll know your soil is too acidic. If it's blue or green, you're likely dealing with alkaline soil. This method is entirely organic and safe, and you can compost the cabbage leftovers when you're done. Plus, you didn't spend a dime on test kits or meters. All you need is red cabbage, distilled water, and a little kitchen time. So before you plant those first corn seeds, take the time to check your soil with this trusty cabbage test. It's a small effort that pays big dividends all season long. For our second method, we're heading straight to the kitchen. No cabbage necessary. This one is all about simplicity and accessibility. If you have baking soda and vinegar at home, you're already set. This test might not give you an exact pH number, but it's perfect for quickly identifying if your soil is too acidic, too alkaline, or just right for corn. Start by taking a composite soil sample, just like before. Dig a few scoops from different parts of your corn bed, mix them together, and remove any sticks, rocks, or debris. Place about 2 tablespoons of your mixed soil into a clean cup or bowl. First up, the vinegar test. Pour a couple of tablespoons of plain white vinegar onto your soil sample. Watch closely. If you see fizzing or bubbling, that's a sign of high alkalinity. The vinegar reacts with alkaline soil minerals, releasing carbon dioxide gas. If you get a good fizz, your soil is likely above pH 7.0, which isn't ideal for corn. If nothing happens with the vinegar, it's time to test the other direction. Put a fresh 2 tablespoons of soil in a new bowl and add just enough distilled water to make it muddy. Then, sprinkle about a tablespoon of baking soda over the top. Again, watch for a reaction. Bubbling here means your soil is acidic. the baking soda reacts with acidic elements to make carbon dioxide bubbles. Acidic soil is below pH 6.0, which can stunt corn growth. If neither test produces any bubbles or fizz, congratulations, your soil is likely in the neutral range, which is exactly where corn is happiest. Simple, right? This test is incredibly useful if you're short on time or just want a quick check before planting. Of course, this method isn't as precise as the cabbage juice or a pH strip, but it's fast, organic friendly, and costs pennies. Plus, it's another great way to get kids or curious friends involved in your gardening adventures. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can get a read on your soil's basic chemistry. A couple of tips: always use clean utensils and bowls for each test so you don't cross-contaminate your samples. And remember, this is a broad strokes test. Think of it like a red flag, helping you spot any big pH problems before you plant. So, next time you're prepping the garden for corn, don't forget to raid the pantry. A little kitchen chemistry can go a long way toward a healthy, productive harvest. If you want to take your soil testing to the next level, the pH strip method is the way to go. This is honestly the best option for gardeners who want an actual number, not just a color or a reaction. You can pick up pH test strips at most garden centers or online. Just make sure they cover the range you need, ideally from pH 4 to 10. Start by gathering a composite soil sample, just like in the previous methods. Remove any large debris, and place about half a cup of your soil into a clean jar or cup. Add an equal amount of distilled water, enough to make a thick slurry. Stir it up and let it settle for 15 to 30 minutes. The water will pull soluble compounds out of the soil and into the liquid, which is what you'll actually be testing. Once your slurry has settled, dip a pH strip into the liquid portion, not the solids. Hold it there for the amount of time specified in the instructions, usually just a few seconds. Then, pull it out and let the color develop. Compare the color on your strip to the chart that comes with the kit. This is where you get your number. For corn, you want your reading to fall as close as possible to 6.0 to 7.0. Anything below or above that can cause problems with nutrient availability, stunted growth, or poor pollination. pH strips are surprisingly accurate for garden use, and you don't need batteries, calibration, or electronics. Just a simple color match and you're set. Plus, this method is organic friendly, no harsh chemicals or waste. If your number comes up too low, meaning acidic, don't panic. There are plenty of organic amendments to help you adjust. Likewise, if your soil is too alkaline, you've got options. But knowing your number is the first and most important step. One important note: always use distilled water for this test. Tap water can contain minerals and treatments that throw off your results, and try to test multiple samples if your garden is large or has varied soil types. This method gives you the information you need to tailor your soil amendments with confidence. No more guessing. You'll know exactly what your corn needs to thrive. So, before you plant, take a few minutes to run a pH strip test. It's a small investment of time that can pay off with towering, productive corn plants all season long. Now you know 3 proven, organic-friendly ways to test your soil's pH. No expensive equipment required. Whether you go with the visual magic of red cabbage juice, the quick kitchen chemistry of baking soda and vinegar, or the precision of pH strips, you're giving your corn the best possible start. Soil pH may seem like a small detail, but for such a sensitive crop, it's the difference between a lackluster harvest and a field full of tall, sweet golden ears. If your soil ends up a little too acidic, don't worry. You can bring it up organically with garden lime or a sprinkle of wood ash. If it's too alkaline, try adding elemental sulfur, some well-aged compost, pine needles, or peat moss to gently lower the pH. Adjusting your soil now means healthier roots, stronger stalks, and fuller cobs come harvest time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Living Soil Garden on YouTube for more hands-on organic gardening tips. Share this video with your fellow gardeners. Every share helps this community grow, just like healthy soil does. Thanks for watching, happy planting, and here's to your best corn harvest yet.